Hey, everybody, can you remember Lou Dobbs? This guy that worked at CNN and became very politically incorrect and they got rid of him. Now he's at Fox and he's now campaigning against the president. He's talking about legacy. He talked about Reagan, he talked about Carter, and he talked about the Bushes. But he says that what will be Obama's legacy and how Obama doesn't have the type of this and that and whatever. But I don't know if where Lou Dobbs has been living. I mean, here we have health care. Whether you like it or not, whether it succeeds or fail, I think that was a great, good heart, tongue American trying to help Americans. Most industrialized nations have free health care. In Canada, you don't have to pay for that. I mean, directly, premiums and all that. And of course, maybe it would lead to that after another source of income has been identified and so on. But the whole notion of trying to get everybody covered, I think that is a fantastic legacy. Furthermore, we had Bush with No Child Left Behind, and now Obama's coming with CommonCore, and he can't see that after being a Harvard graduate that could also be a legacy. Now Obama's saying that all across the country, every 3-year-old must be able to do these things. A 60-year-old is supposed to be able to do these things. So we know, we can't say, well, I grew up in Florida and we never did that. I grew up in New York, we never did that. There's some basic things that we have to do. And previously, you just had to just come through the class and just be acquainted with this stuff. And I could see in the future young people memorizing the whole periodic tables and memorizing the whole book. Everybody could write composition. People could write cursive. They could count. We have more doctors and more scientists and more engineers and so on. Professions that are based on mathematics and even expression yourself writing. I mean, Lou Dobbs can't see that. And hey, if people give it a good shot and we fund it right and so on, you know what? Our standing in the world as far as education is concerned will be escalating. We will be coming back to where we should be, number one. What else? We had 2 wars there that I don't want to use the word losing because, I mean, we have the capacity to wrap up these people in a little bit, a set of bombing and the whole nation is done. But in the terms of humanitarian behavior and world norms and laws, international laws and so on, these wars, Obama's now stopping them. He's even trying to help Karzai with a wonderful transition, which he's resisting. And what else? Other people are trying to provoke a world war here and trying to get Russia riled up by inviting them to join NATO and so on, the Ukraine. And what Obama's doing, he had Putin give him a call. He didn't call Merkel or he didn't call Holland. He called Obama, and they had a discussion and so on. I mean, I could go on and on talking about legacy. Puerto Rico is on the verge of probably becoming a state. No president has gone to Puerto Rico forever, and Obama went over there and got an initiative to find out what the people really want, and I hope that he'll come through real soon and sort of get Congress to pass and make them a state. Now it won't make necessarily things different because for the last hundreds of years Puerto Rico has been in a situation where the metropole has been sending them dollars, and while even if they go state, they're still gonna have to get those dollars, but at least you have a long-term plan that maybe they're gonna come to the place where they realize that their actions are gonna benefit them, and they'll start running stuff as New York or California or someplace. I was over there, and they don't think in terms of Puerto Rico as being a superpower and being a part of this great country. They're thinking in terms of, we want to be independent. And so, you got to give Obama credit. And I'm trying to figure out what is Lou Dobbs' motives here. He never appreciated the president, and you could always come up with something. As long as deep down in your subconscious you hate somebody, you could just come up with things that sound so objective and so fair, but it's just because you're biased. And so I think Lou Dobbs basically wish if he could have been president. I don't know what Fox is doing with him now. CNN got rid of him because his commentaries and everything weren't anything profound. You'd think a guy coming from Harvard would have a breadth of, I mean, listen, I went out to Puerto Rico, and people are telling me they're leftists. This guy's professor. I was there for a couple of months, and I said I would like to hold a conference to look at whether Puerto Rico could become a state or a country. And the guys tell me, "Oh, you're not here so long enough. I mean, Puerto Rico could become a country." And I'm saying, like, I mean, how you could think about that? Whether you're leftist, you're communist, you're straight, you're this, you're whatever, there are facts that if you kind of want to be with a reliable concept, I mean, it's there. You could see it. You know, put the principles together and you'll see it. Now, there's a guy over there. He ran with Padilla, who is now the governor, and he was talking that Puerto Rico could become a state. And I'm just wondering how you could say, I mean, when I say state, I'm getting mixed up because, you know, the state of Guyana, the state of Trinidad, but not necessarily a state like California, but a country, okay? When you look at the size of the country, I mean, do you have the type of natural resources, gold, oil, and diamonds and all that to help? Do you have enough farmland to plant your corn and your raise animal and all that kind of stuff? And is there any semblance of you could generate economic activity to cover your budget and so forth? What else? You have to go and start a military. You have to get all these tanks and these planes and all this kind of stuff. You know, our bottom line is no. But why couldn't they see this? And you know what? There was a referendum, and the people of themselves said they want statehood as opposed to a country. So if he couldn't have at least read the people's view and fears that if they become independent, when the Social Security will gone, they're losing American citizenship, they're losing all this guarantee that they could get loans and all this kind of stuff. It's ridiculous. And so the point is that they should have been able to see the facts. These are facts. Small country, no natural resources, no. In fact, the guy who was working with him told me something like, "Oh, we have a lot of smarts." Man, you don't know Puerto Ricans. We have a lot of smarts. We're Puerto Ricans first and Americans second. And I'm saying, like, okay, where are these smarts? And what product? Where are you going to sell the smarts? And how much you're going to get? And can you really generate from your smarts the money you need to run the country, for the budget and so on? They're over there. They don't care about crime. They just let crime go out of hand. And then America thinking that we should do something about crime. We need more cops. So here's where you're going to employ more folks. I mean, that's the game. And so with Lou Dobbs, he's not being fair. And that if you really look at the facts, you'll see that Obama will have a legacy than many of these modern presidents. I mean, I think President Clinton was able to balance the budget. I hope I'm not wrong, but he was able to get a surplus. And I think that was fantastic. George Bush come and squandered it with the wars in the Middle East. And the country almost collapsed again. The country was on the verge of collapse. Obama did some things that weren't popular. They call it bailout for the big shots, for the 1%, it sounds like. And the country stabilized and things, Lou Dobbs is not looking that the Republicans are opposing him, and maybe because of his race and whatever, a whole bunch of things that ain't happening that should have happened. I mean, if they'd given him the type of money needed for the sort of infrastructure development or reconstruction and so on, I mean, we could have been catapulted to a higher orbit. We could have been orbiting by the moon and the sun and playing with the stars and so on. So when I listened to Lou Dobbs, man, you could hear the hypocrisy in his voice, and knowing that he was with CNN, knowing that he was talking stupid and they got rid of him. I mean, I'm just laughing at this joke. But yeah, the president has a lot of things that could go in his legacy, and there's no bacchanal in the office of the White House. The kids are not, doing stuff that smoking and doing drugs and drinking and getting drunk with the Secret Service and all that. I mean, if they were doing stuff like that, being black, we would have all known it. Okay. Another thing, grandma is in the castle, and guess what? No big scandal. She isn't doing stuff that the media again could have been broadcasting. So that also could be another legacy. First time you have an extended family into the White House, and it was necessary and it was helpful, and so we have two young ladies there that we could all be proud of, who are going to be outstanding Americans and probably a president one day. So listen, Mr. Lou Dobbs, be fair if you're going to be a journalist, and don't talk crazy.